school vacation week up there?
Yeah, it was great though. I thought that's our best practice in a long time. I thought the energy of our fans being here, you know, I think the guys want to put on a show or whatever it was, but we practiced with really good pace and intensity today.
Looked like Lindholm had one of his best games last night. What did you see from him? He seemed to be, I don't know, more assertive maybe?
Yeah, I think when he's, his gaps are really good. He shuts down plays. He catches other teams in three-quarter ice. And, you know, he had that one shift with Coyle's line where him and Brando did a great job of keeping pucks in and also being active with zero risk. It was real direct, right? The puck was on and off their tapes, whether it was going back behind the net or whether it was going a seam pass he made to Marshy. You know, he made a tip pass behind him to Jake. JD had a good shot on the same sequence, you know. So I just think that when he's assertive and direct offensively, the better success he has offensively, and it leads to him just controlling the game with his gaps and his skating.
What's the line of communication between you and Ryan Mugin out down in Providence about just how maybe some of those younger guys are maybe progressing down there?
Yeah, I think weekly we probably text each other, you know, when, you know, if something was to happen, who's the 2D men, or who's the 2 or 3 forwards that, you know, are on the top of your list right now, because it does change, right? Weekly, us coaches our memory's only as good as the last game a lot of times. We don't sometimes think a lot of big picture. But it's good to know who who's trending the right way and who's playing the right way. And Moose is really good at giving specific details why he thinks, you know, players playing well. You know, we got a real good player. I mean, Merkeloff's second in the American Hockey League right now, so he's doing a really good job. But it's not only him. There's other players that are playing well that are helping. You know, they had a good win on the road last night. And it goes the other way too. You know, like an example, Mitchell went down just a week ago, and he'll ask me, what's the message? Where does he need to work? What's he doing well? And that back and forth communication, I think serves our players the best. You know.
Specifically looking at Merkelov, what have you heard from him in terms of from Ryan about his overall development and maybe how he's built his game this year?
Yeah, I think the thing that's been the most promising things we're hearing is how quickly he's closing in a D-zone and how his 200-foot game is really upticked. And it's not surprising that you hear about someone's 200-foot game getting better, and he's second in the league in scoring. Good, like yesterday we had 7 odd-man rushes, and 5 of them came from good defense. Good defense leads to offense.
Coach, at what point do you reward a guy for his work down there, even though that may not be a spot here?
Yeah, I think it's just when opportunity creates itself, you know. Sometimes it's injury, sometimes it's your play, you're just playing well and the team's not doing well, you know. It's always different circumstances as to when guys get the opportunity to get called in.
Coach, I don't know if you'd agree, but I mean, during that 4-game skid there, even some of the games before that, there seemed to be times when the opponent would gain momentum or, you know, it was starting to shift and your guys didn't necessarily answer. What did you think of the way they did that last night at any point where Buffalo had a window to kind of turn things around?
I thought defensively we checked really well. That we gave up a couple of chances, but I mean, you know, every NHL team is going to create chances that we probably didn't like. But in general, our defensive game, being over on the right side of pucks, getting above pucks, whether it's forwards or defensemen, eliminating unnecessary risk, I guess, of our game, really allowed us to control that game defensively. I thought our game offensively was just average. You know, I thought we could have built our game and grinded them down a little bit more. We did that early in the first. I thought we got away from it after that consistently. We did it in moments after. And the thing about this year that is good is like we've struggled. And when you struggle, you learn how to get out of the struggle. And hopefully that's what we're learning right now. And when you do that, it helps your team develop some resiliency down the line, right? And I think that the struggle that we've gone through is only going to help us. It's only going to be a good thing in the long run. It sucks when you're going through it.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes you're like, are we ever going to get out of this, you know? because we're getting overwhelmed, like you said. We used to just overwhelm people all the time, you know, and that's not happening now. And it's a good thing, because you gotta learn how to fight out of it and get back to your habits that allow you to build your team game and overwhelm other teams, whether it's defensive or offensive principles.
You want to give Zaka a little bit more of a look on the wing?
I think I want to give Kiki a little more of a look between Zaka and Boston. You know, it's kind of been a revolving door there, just because of sometimes it's matchups, and I really like Coyle and Archie together. Like, you know, it really gives me a shutdown line.
So once Pavel gets his legs back in terms of being familiar again with left wing, how do you think that would impact the game? The way, if he sells in Jake the way he did last night, Brad obviously, how does that just overall touch?
Probably solidifies your top six. It gives us the ability to win faceoffs on either dot, with Zaka a left shot center and you know, Geeky a right shot center. That's, you know, and the Coyle line, I mean, I thought they were by far our best line last night.
You mentioned them as, you know, their shutdown ability. Have you seen Coyle and Marchand growing offensively in terms of what they can do together?
I do, yeah, I do. I think they're getting more odd man rushes. I think they're getting more accustomed to where the spots they find each other on the ice and who likes to hold on to pucks where. I think Charlie's done a really good job of becoming a shooter first and getting inside the dots. Like, both his goals yesterday, look where he is. How often was he there last year? He scored a, you know, forecheck goal. He's on the backside post there. We got set up by Frederick. You know, he's getting into scoring areas. That's why he's scoring more this year.
How much of a comfort level is it for Marchand to have a right shot in the middle? Do you think?
Yeah, I think it's what he knows, right? So I think it's a huge comfort level, and also right centers tend to pass to the left wing more, and left centers tend to pass to the right wing more.
What have you thought of Mason Lohrei's play recently? Do you see him, you know, kind of learning from maybe some of the hiccups he had earlier?
Yes, we do. We see progress. You know, it's hard, you know, like in the NHL, like, because as a defenseman, like, forwards make mistakes. A lot of times they go unnoticed. But a defenseman, if he makes mistakes, all of a sudden it's a 2-on-1. They go no. You notice that breakdown. Everybody does, right? So it's, you got to have thicker skin. But what we like about Mason is Mason's very coachable, and he wants to be a player. You see it every day with how meticulous he is about going out on the ice, you know, and we're very confident that his game is just going to continue to grow.
Is there any update on forward? Any timeline?
No update on forward. Grizzy, you know, is starting to trend the right way. He practiced today. We'll see how he feels tomorrow and continue to ramp him up to when he's going to be available.
Coach, just getting back to the whole momentum change thing, just across the league, I mean, I don't know if you've noticed it, but it just seems to be so many 2-3 goal comebacks everywhere. I saw like 2 of them last night. What do you credit that to? Is it just a lot of these players coming into the league are more offensive minded, or is there any explanation you think? Or
I think the skill level throughout the 4 lines is the highest it's ever been. And if you get opportunities, guys, people are going to score more goals, and people don't stop pressing. Like, and I also think conversely, there's not as many people who know how to check in the league. And you get younger players in the league that get to the league usually because of their offensive prowess. They got to be taught how to check, and that's why we get overwhelmed at times. It's why Colorado does. All the best teams have been overwhelmed. I think every
Vegas
team that's has given up or lost leads or given up 7 goals in a game. I don't know what the cause is for the other teams, and I don't care. I don't know if it's goaltending. I don't know if it's structure. I just care about the Bruins. But I know it's happening throughout the league.
Yeah.
This 3-day break, you've had 3 days off before, but you know, we look at guys like Coyle and DeBrusque and Lindholm. Do you think it was important to get that 3-day breather where you're just away from the rink and with family, and you come out and you're productive right away? What can that do for them mentally, you think?
Absolutely. You know, you get away from it, and then you come back, and hope is an incredible thing in your attitude, right? And I saw it in myself. I think I was, I know I was getting into a negative trend in my mindset, right? when it came professional. So then you get away, and all of a sudden on the day morning of 26, I have a completely different attitude about where our team's gonna go, how we're gonna get there, and it's all, the attitude is positively driven. And every player comes back like that, it impacts the energy on it in the dressing room, and I think that had a big part in our team success last night.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.